And I really object that the witness is now the one who's controlling the examination.
Don't even go there, counsel, because I will shut you down in a minute. I've given you tons of leeway, but you will never, ever disrespect this court or this judge. So you better go outside right now and check yourself before you say anything like that to me again. Court's in recess. Court does call the case of People State of Michigan versus Raymond Smith. Counsel, state your appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Amy Riser on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney John Freeman on behalf of Mr. Smith, who is seated at counsel.
All right, very good. Taking time set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Jesse Freeman.
Please come forward and be sworn.
Take a seat, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so be done.
Yes.
State spell your first and last name for the record.
JESSE-ENG.
All right. You may inquire.
Thank you, Jesse. My name is Amy Riser, and we've met a couple times now. I have a series of questions to ask you. If there's anything that you don't understand, just let me know and I can repeat the question. The microphone before you will record what you're saying, but it won't actually amplify your voice. So we do need you, one, to keep your voice up so we can hear. Some of us are old and can't hear. And also, I think sometimes we get nervous and we might shake our head yes or no, but we do need a verbal response because from the recording, they'll type a transcript of the proceeding. And I don't know if that screen in front of you is on. Is it on, off?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, is it distracting? Is it okay to have it on, or do you want us to shut it off?
It's okay to have it on.
Okay. All right. And so if you need to take a break at any time, let me know, and we can take a break, or if you need a glass of water. And when I'm done asking you questions, Mr. Freeman will ask you a series of questions and same rules apply. Okay? Can you tell Judge Simpson how old you are?
I'm 40 years old.
Okay. And where do you currently live?
I live in Michigan.
Okay. And I want to take you back to September of 2023. Where were you living then?
It's Landing, Michigan.
Okay. And what address?
1591 Wingate Boulevard. It's Landing, Michigan.
And that's in Washtenaw County?
Yes.
Thank you. And how long had you lived in September of 2023? How long had you lived at that address?
A couple of years at that point.
Okay. And who did you live there with?
My mom,
Okay. And what's her name?
Kathy Baptist.
Say Baptist.
Baptist, like the church.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And do you know the defendant in this case, Raymond Smith?
I do.
And how do you know him?
He was a neighbor, lived across the street, kind of kitty corner.
Okay. And what was your relationship with him when you lived at Wingate?
He was a neighbor, acquaintance, friend.
Okay. And on September 21st, 2023, did you go to his residence?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you go there?
Smoke marijuana.
Okay. And is that something that you had done with him in the past?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have a romantic relationship with him?
No.
Okay. And did he want a romantic relationship with you?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you know that?
He was insistent. He was very inappropriate at times. I kind of just shrugged it off, but he said things that he said things that were inappropriate.
Okay. And did you ever?
That he said things that were inappropriate.
And did you ever work for him or do any work for him?
Yes.
And what would you do?
Clean his house.
Okay. And he would pay you for that?
Yes,
And how often would you do that?
I did it twice.
Oh, 2 or 3 times? Okay. And so on the 21st, 2023, you went to smoke marijuana. How did that come about? Was it a phone call, a text? Did he walk to your house or something else?
He texted me.
Okay.
Asking me if I wanted to come over.
Okay. And what was your initial response?
I think I said yes.
Okay.
But I didn't go. I kind of blew him off.
Okay.
And then he texted me again. And it was the same thing. I told him that I was doing something. And this went on for a few hours.
Okay. And do you recall how many times he texted you?
It's a lot.
Okay.
I don't recall that.
Okay. And did you ultimately go over there?
Yes.
And do you recall what time you went over?
8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock.
PM?
Yes.
Okay. And that was on September 20th or 21st? Do you recall the day or what day of the week it was?
I don't remember exactly.
Thursday, September 21st, 2023 was a Thursday. Do you recall what day of the week it was, or do you know? Okay. Or no, I'm sorry. Do you recall what day of the week you went over there?
No.
Okay. So what happened when you ultimately went over there?
I went over there and he had a long pack of marijuana and I started smoking.
Okay. And was he smoking too? Okay. And what's the next thing that you remember happening?
Being naked.
Okay. Okay. And do you recall how you got naked? Okay. And what was happening?
He was sweating on me and he was pulling my wrist. And I told him no.
Okay. And did he say anything to you?
I don't think-
Okay.
Not at that point, I don't really remember.
Okay. And what was he doing?
He was penetrating me with his penis.
Okay. And you said no?
I said no.
Do you recall how many times you said no?
Like, many times.
Okay. Okay. And what do you remember happening next?
I kind of blacked back out and I woke up again on my stomach. And he was penetrating my vagina and my anus with sex toys.
Okay. And did you see the sex toy? Did you feel it or both?
I felt them. I did see them later on. I remember getting glances. But I remember feeling it.
Okay. And did you say anything to him?
Yeah, I said, stop. He asked me if I liked it. I said, no, stop.
And what happened next?
I couldn't.
Do you need a second?
I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand why I trusted him, even though he creeped me out. I trusted him. But I fell back asleep, blacked back out. And I woke back up, and he was pulling me back down with this by my wrist. And I said no again. The next thing I remember is trying to get my clothes. He grabbed me and asked if I wanted to cuddle with him. And I got so angry that I was scared, and I asked him if he was crazy, and I left.
And you said you asked him if he was crazy? And why did you ask him that?
He just raped me, and he wanted to cuddle. He knew I didn't want to sleep with him. He knew that for a long time.
Had you had conversations about that previously? Yes,
Oh, yes.
okay. And you told him what?
That I wasn't interested in him. I wasn't interested, that I was either in relationships, and then it was like as soon as I got out of them, he would come over all the time. My mom had to lie to him when I was in my room. She had to say I was gone. He just wouldn't leave me alone, and I told him, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to sleep with you.
And so you said, are you crazy? Did he respond to that? Do you recall? Okay. And what happened next? What do you remember happening next?
I walked out his house. It was hard for me to walk. And I kind of remember walking outside and going home. And the next morning, telling my mom.
Do you remember what time you got home?
I know it had to have been around 11 o'clock,
AM?
PM.
Okay.
Probably out.
Okay. And did you ultimately seek medical attention? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The next morning, I told my mother what happened, and she said it was best that we go to the hospital. So, yeah, and I don't even remember if I called or if hospital called the police. They came.
The police came to the hospital. Okay. And so, and that's when you met Deputy Campanori?
Yes.
Okay. And so if the police report indicates that they came to the hospital on the 21st, on September 21st, 2023, is it your testimony that you were at Raymond's house the night before on September 20th, 23? Okay. And the individual that you stated as Raymond Smith, who did these things to you, do you see him in the courtroom today? And can you tell Judge Simpson where he is and what he's wearing?
Yes, it's right there. It's navy blue.
The record could reflect she's identified the defendant.
Record shows so reflect without objection.
And were you treated by a sexual assault nurse at the hospital? Okay. And did you sustain any injury as a result of the sexual assault? Did you have any injury?
Yes, I had some bruises on my wrist, was injured. And I was very, very sore, and I had surgery for prolapse. Rectal prolapse.
Rectal prolapse. I don't have any other questions for you this time. Mr. Freeman may have some questions for you, okay? Thank you.
Cross-examination.
When did you have the surgery?
I haven't had it yet.
Oh, you haven't had it? I thought you just said that you did have surgery.
So I have to,
You have to have it. Okay.
I have to do physical therapy. Pelvic floor physical therapy
Because what?
because I got raped.
So these events took place more than a year ago, correct? And you said you haven't had that treatment yet?
They can't get me in this. You know, excruciating.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Do you have any conditions that affect your memory?
Sorry,
Do you have any conditions that affect your memory?
not like that. No.
What conditions do you have that might affect your memory? You don't have to look at the prosecutor or anybody over there. You can look at me.
You can have her just answer the question, counsel.
I don't have any.
You have lupus, don't you?
I have lupus, but that doesn't affect my memory. That wouldn't affect me remembering a sexual assault.
Fair to say that one of the conditions, one of the symptoms of your lupus from time to time is that it impacts your memory.
It can.
Fair to say?
It can.
So it could have an impact on your memory. That's fair to say, isn't it?
It can.
Okay. Any other conditions that affect your memory?
Systemic lupus. I have depression. That's about it.
You chronically use drugs, don't you?
No. I do not. I used to.
You used to use drugs a lot, fair to say?
Yeah.
You used to use drugs a lot back in September of 2023, didn't you?
I didn't.
Did you use drugs other than marijuana back in September of 2023?
Basically,
A fair amount of cocaine, correct? Other drugs too? If the medical records that we have from in connection with this case say that a couple weeks earlier you were positive for, let's say, cocaine, those wouldn't be wrong, would they?
I just said I did cocaine.
Well, let's talk about the other drugs that you used to do in September of 2023. How about amphetamines? You ever used opiates?
Yes.
You've almost died from opiate use, correct?
Yes.
That would affect your memory as well, correct?
Yes.
How about alcohol? You ever attend AA meetings?
Of course. Yeah. For my drug use.
You ever excessively consume alcohol and be considered an alcoholic?
Considered an alcoholic because I suffer from the disease of alcoholism, which is all encompassing.
How about benzodiazepines? Do you know what those are?
I know what they are. There's Xanax, Klonopin, Ativan. I know what they are.
Have you ever been diagnosed with having withdrawals from benzodiazepines?
I have.
Benzodiazepines affect your memory as well, correct?
Yes, they do.
Have you also been diagnosed with the opiate use disorder, severe in early remission?
Remission, keyword.
In early remission? Do you remember ever being diagnosed like that? So it's more than just lupus that's part of your life that affects your memory. Isn't that fair to say?
Yes.
Now, at the time that you were at the hospital and you were examined by an orthopedic surgeon, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember telling the orthopedic surgeon that you couldn't remember the details of the assault?
Yes.
So if it was indicated that you do not recall the assault, that would be a fair statement of what you told the orthopedic surgeon at the hospital the next day. You don't remember that? Your Honor, may I approach?
Her statement,
I'm trying to refresh her recollection.
is it gonna refresh her recollection?
I don't
You
know.
didn't ask her.
If I were to show you medical records that indicate that you reported you were sexually assaulted last night and you do not recall the assault, would that refresh your recollection as to what you told the medical personnel?
I don't remember all the details. I don't.
Okay. You've also, what drugs have you done with Mr. Smith in the past?
Reassuring.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
What drugs have they done with the defendant in the past?
We've done marijuana.
You in fact have in the past have asked him to provide you with cocaine, is that fair to say?
I asked if you did it, yeah.
So I want to you characterize your prior interactions with Mr. Smith, or when asked what was the nature of the relationship, you stated that you were neighbors, acquaintances, and friends, correct? So I want to explore a little bit the nature of that friendship. When did you first meet Ray Smith?
Maybe it was not quite sure. It was when I first moved to my mom's. So
About when was that?
20, I don't know, it's for sure, 2020.
And is it fair to say that over the years between 2020 and September of 2023, you guys would spend time together on and off? Fair to say?
More like he would give me rides sometimes and we smoked weed together. He came over, hung out with my mom, provided her marijuana, smoked weed with her.
And
Didn't spend time together.
well, did you spend time together around Christmas in 2021?
There was a neighborhood Christmas party.
Well, I'm asking you specifically, did you spend time with each other, say Christmas Eve 2021?
I don't remember. I can't remember that part.
During the time period that you knew Mr. Smith, you were using a cell phone, correct? You had a cell phone? Is that number 517-449-4209? And you also go by the name Jesse Baptiste?
Never got it.
That's your mom's name? Your Honor, may I approach with some documents?
Everything.
There are text messages between the complainant and my client.
You can show it to the prosecutor as to what you're approaching with, maybe.
Just for the record, I don't have them.
Your Honor, for the record, these have been tendered to the prosecutor's office months ago during the back and forth about discovery in this case.
Are you asking if she recalls something or why approaching with these? I didn't hear the first part of that.
Fresh.
Did she forget something? I'm sorry, what was the question that she?
I was asking questions, Your Honor, regarding Christmas of 2021.
I know. So why, I mean, it's interesting. What do those have to do with it?
Well, there's been certain representations made about the nature of the relationship, the friendship between the complainant and my client. And believe I'm allowed a little latitude in exploring that. She made very specific statements.
Well, you're asking to approach with,
In order to
do what?
to refresh her recollection on whether or not they spent time together Christmas 2021.
Well, I don't think it's relevant, first of all, with 2021.
And as a proffer, so you're approaching with something, I don't know if those are hers or not. You asked whether she went by a certain name. She has said she did not go by that name.
She indicated that she went by a certain phone number. And I think that if
That was her phone number, but then you asked if she went by a certain name and she said no.
right, but if she looks at these text messages, she's, I suspect, going to remember very specific text messages that are contained in the back and forth between her and my client.
All right. Ms. Reiser, you received a copy of those?
No, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find them. When did you send them to?
When were those tendered to the prosecutor?
Months ago.
Well,
I don't have a specific date. I can look that up easily enough.
Well, let's look it up. She says she hasn't. I don't need you to keep talking. Let's just get to it.
Well, Your Honor, I just don't like the implication that I didn't provide it. It was provided.
Counsel, all I asked is, did you provide it? You said yes. I asked Ms. Reiser. Said no. Then you went off on your tangent. She says she hasn't. I'm done. question.
Thank you. Ms. England, do you remember spending time with Ray Smith around Christmas of 2021?
I remember going to a Christmas party for Ray. I don't remember that.
Well, let's talk about back around the time that you first met Ray Smith. Is it fair to say that that was in September of 2021?
Yes. Sure. I would really remember when I. Really not important.
You remember discussing with him going out to dinner back in September of 2021?
He asked me to dinner and I blew him off, just like I did every other time. I blew him off.
Well, would you consider it blowing him off if you said, I like Mexican food restaurant on Michigan Avenue, to be honest, LOL. I always like Casablanca a lot on Washtenaw, but I think they close. Next Friday, I get out of work early because I have a hair appointment at 1:30 by Lululemon across from Whole Foods. Not sure what time you're available, but maybe we can grab a late lunch or early dinner.
What did the rest of the text say, sir?
Your Honor, may I now approach?
Yes.
Let's start at the back and they work towards the front. So right now, I'm looking at September 16th, 2021 at 8:05 and 46 seconds PM. It's on the second to the last page. So let's go back to that.
Was good. And then he asked me if I wanted to go kayaking. I told him how weekends are tricky. Again, blowing him off.
So let's go
I
specifically,
didn't spend time with Rick.
let's go,
End of story.
let's go specifically to September 16th, 2021 at 8:05 PM and 46 seconds on the second to the last page. The third entry from the top. Can you go to that spot, please?
What page?
The second to the last page.
Okay.
Do you see the third entry down where it says received September 16th, 2020? Let me finish asking the question and then you can respond, okay? So do you see where it says September 16, 2021, 8:05 and 46 seconds? And then the next entry starts, I like the Mexican food. Do you see that? Okay, now this is you to him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you say at the end of that, maybe we can grab a late lunch or early dinner? Did I read that correct? Did I read that correctly?
Oh, sorry.
Did I read that correctly? Where you said, maybe, Your Honor, I'm going to ask that the witness be instructed to let me finish the question before she starts to answer, and that she answer the question that's being asked.
Go ahead with your question, Phil.
Miss England, did I read the last part of that text message correctly? Where you wrote, quote, maybe we can grab a late lunch or early dinner. Is that what you wrote?
Oh, that's what I wrote, yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't mean.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that she be instructed not to volunteer information above and beyond the yes or no that the question calls for.
Next question.
Going now to the next page, the third entry from the bottom, September 23, 2021 at 10:56 and 53 seconds. Can you go to that entry, please?
Oh, which one?
Your Honor, may I approach to point it out to her?
May,
I'll find it.
are you able to keep up, Ms. Reiser?
It's the star
Oh, thank you.
next to the one I'm going to read with you.
I appreciate it.
So this is a text message that you sent to Ray, correct?
Mhm.
September 23rd, 2021, 10:56 and 53 seconds. You wrote, hi, thank you for the birthday wish. Sorry, I'm just now getting back to you. Did I read that sentence correctly?
Yeah.
It goes on to state, I really respect you and think you are an awesome person, but I'm still living with Chad and just don't need nor want any complications right now. Did I read that correctly? You have to.
Yes.
I would love to talk to you more, but I think it'd be better if we did it as friends. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
You said, I hope that's okay, and I hope you know it has nothing to do with you because you truly are amazing.
Yes.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes. But that's just really trying to understand not hurt his feelings.
So, Miss England, is there something about my questions that you don't understand?
I'm sorry.
So I asked you if I read it correctly. That calls for a yes or a no. Do you understand that? Do you understand that my questions call for a yes or a no?
You can continue. Yes, I understand.
So can we have an agreement that if I ask a question that calls for a yes or a no, that you will then answer it yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. You've told Mr. Smith in the past that you like him. Is that fair to say?
As a friend, yes.
And you've texted things like that to him in the past before, correct?
As a friend, yes.
You've told him on more than one occasion that you think he's awesome. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you also told him that you care about him?
His dad had just died. Yes.
Have you said to him, it's always good to see you?
Yes.
And one time you're so friendly that you actually gave him a condom in front of your mom. Is that fair to say?
He was on Tinder and he was asking. Yes, I did. Yes.
And you would confide in him about difficult situations that you had with your mom.
Sometimes because they were close.
And there were times where he would offer for you to come over to his house so that you could sort of get away from the situation with your mom.
I always said that.
Well, you've been over at his house. This incident that you were referring to in September of 2023, that wasn't the first time you were at his house, was it? You were over there socially on several occasions before that. Fair to say?
Yes.
You were over there several times in September of 2022, weren't you?
You're telling me.
Do you remember a time where a massage was involved?
No, I don't. I remember him trying. I remember him trying.
How many times did you use mushrooms with Mr. Smith?
I think it was once.
You remember when? No? When did you first start talking about cleaning his place?
I don't remember.
Would you send text messages back and forth about cleaning his place? You have to,
Yes,
and would that have been in 2022 in September?
probably, more than likely.
And there were times when he would give you rides at your request, correct?
Yeah.
About how many times did he do that?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm on the few,
When you say a few, how many does that mean in your mind?
3 or 4.
It was substantially more than that, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't. I'm kind of stressed out right now. I don't know.
Do you need to take a break?
That would be great.
Okay.
You need a break, man. 15 minutes, will that work for you? All right, thank you. We're standing in recess, we'll reconvene at 2:55. Yeah.
All right. The 14A District Court for the County of Washington is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Davis Simpson presiding.
Graham, if you can come back up and take the stand, you may be seated. The witness, counsel is present, the witness is on the stand, ma'am. I just remind you that you're still under oath, right? May continue.
So earlier, I think you testified that you went to the hospital on September 21st, 2023. Is that right?
I don't. Yes.
And the police met you there, but you're not aware of how the police were called to be there? Is that your testimony?
I believe I called them. I can't remember exactly. I was very upset, so I can't remember exactly if I called them.
So, well, this is kind of an important detail. So did you actually call the police yourself?
I wanted them there. I wanted them there. So if I didn't do it, I told someone else to.
Okay, so my question is, did you personally call the police?
More than likely. Yes, more than likely.
So is it more of a fair statement that you're not sure if you called the police?
I can't say if it's.
So it's either I called the police, I didn't call the police, I don't remember calling the police.
I just said that I can't remember exactly who called, but I wanted somebody to call it. It was more than likely he called the police, but I can't tell you exactly.
Well, I don't want you to fill in the gaps if you don't remember. Okay. So as you sit here today, did you call the police?
Objection, Your Honor. Yes.
Sustained.
The police did arrive at the hospital, correct? And you told them when they first got there, when you were describing your contact with Ray Smith, that you would avoid him like the plague. Do you remember saying that?
Again, it was a long time ago, and I'm very upset.
So if you ever told the police that you avoided Ray like the plague, that was not true, was it?
I did avoid Ray, especially towards the end. When
Well-
when it was more towards the time that he hurt me, I did avoid him. He just would show up at my place.
Well, we're going to get into that, but it's not really a fair statement to say that you would avoid him like the plague, is it? I'm sorry? You think it is a fair statement to say that?
No, it's not a fair statement.
Okay. Because we can agree that back in September of 2022, you guys actually hung out together and went out and did some activities together. Is that fair to say?
Activities.
Yeah. Well, did you ever in response to him where you said, "Hey, I had fun last night. I hope you did too." Did you say, "Me too. My knee is fucked today though, LOL," in September of 2022?
Yeah, I felt like my thought was dear Sam. It had nothing to do with hanging out with Ray. I didn't hurt my knee at Ray's.
Okay. But you had spent time with him referring to the September 5th, 2022. Is that fair to say?
Again, we saw there more. I would go over there and spend, 20 minutes there, smoke. Just like he would come over and smoke with my mother,
And there were times where you would quote unquote hang out. Is that fair to say?
That's what that is.
That's what that means to you? Okay. So he first started giving you rides in June of 2022. Is that a fair statement?
For sure. Again, it was a long time ago.
Well, you're saying that this event occurred September 20th, 2023. Is it fair to say that he started giving you rides about at least a year before that?
Sir, I don't want to give you wrong information and say yes. I don't know for sure.
You understand the importance of being accurate here today,
It was a
correct?
long time ago.
You do understand the importance of being accurate here today? So I do want to come back to something that you said earlier. Is it your testimony that you suffered an injury to your rectum as a result of what you're claiming was an assault?
It was already damaged. And what he did made it a lot worse, needing surgery.
Okay. And you were examined by,
A physician
An-
at the University of Michigan.
so my question to you is, you were examined by a nurse at the hospital on September 21st, 2023, correct?
Yes.
Why did you ask Ray to give you rides?
Because it was easy. My mom was, when she wasn't available, he was right there. He was right next door.
Why did you need rides?
Because I don't have a car.
Well, you didn't have a valid license, did you?
No
Why is that?
license.
Why not?
I lost it.
Because of your drunk drivings, right?
Objection, Your Honor, to relevancy.
What's the relevance of this?
I can tie it up, Your Honor.
Well, tie it up to what?
To some motive for what's being stated here. If I can just ask,
Drunk driving's gonna lead to motive?
if I can ask a different question.
Go ahead.
So at the time that this all happened, as you claim it did, you were on probation, weren't you?
No,
You weren't?
no,
You weren't testing regularly for drugs and alcohol as a
No.
result of a court order? So from December of 2022 through March of 2023, there was no contact between you and Ray Smith, was there?
I'm sorry.
Between December 2022 and March 2023, there was no contact between you and Ray Smith, was there?
Asking me things I don't remember because Ray he doesn't take it doesn't matter to me. Like, why would I remember that?
Do you have those text messages there?
Just because there's no text doesn't mean he didn't come over and
In December of 2022, Ray was upset with you and your mother, wasn't he?
oh, yes, he was.
And what was he upset about?
We got it.
When you say we, who do you mean?
My mom.
And and Ray was unhappy with the way that he was being treated by you and your mom. Is that fair to say?
Quite sure.
Well, this all took, there was a major blowout between you and your mom in and around December of 2022, correct?
Yes, there was.
So between December of 2022 and March of 2023, there's really no communication between you and Ray. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And then in March of 2023, you actually initiate communication with Ray.
Yes, if it's text, or might have come over, I don't know.
Well, let's see if we can refresh your memory.
Okay. Let's-
May I approach your honor?
You may.
That at the top of these, it shows a series of text messages on December 7th, 2022. I'm gonna ask you to look at that, these text messages there.
And I guess I'm gonna object to the line of questioning because counsel seems to sort of want to pick and choose what's coming out of the text messages. I have no objection to the entire thread of messages as a statement made by the defendant, coming in to evidence for the court to review, but sort of like picking and choosing and sort of taking them out of context and not, and what she would have said, what this witness would have said in those text messages is hearsay.
And he certainly can't introduce his own client's statement. And I think they're not relevant, and what is troubling to me is he's creating a record of sort of bits and pieces that is not the full extent of these text messages. These text messages are her telling him, no, I don't want a sexual relationship with you. No, I only want to be friends. But the way that he's parsing this out and asking her about this doesn't present that way. And I certainly can clear it up on cross-exam, but the things that happened in 2021 and leading up to 2023 are as these witnesses stated. And I'll give you an example of a record that's created. He asked her, did you hang out with him on Christmas Eve? Did you hang out with him on Christmas Eve? And her testimony was, no, we had a Christmas party. And that is supported by these text messages. He wanted to be with her on Christmas Eve, and she told him no. So if we just want to mark this as an exhibit so the court can and use it in its determination in this find over, but the idea of going like little by little through the text messages are, they're not really relevant to what happened on September of 2023, and it's a mischaracterization of the entire thread of text messages.
Response.
Your Honor, I have no objection to these text messages being received as an exhibit for purposes of this preliminary examination. What I was just doing now, when this objection was made, was trying to refresh the recollection of the witness as to the time period during which there was no communication between her and my client. And my hope was that by her seeing that in the text messages, and then that she reinitiated the communication, that might refresh her memory. But if the prosecutor wants all these text messages to come in as evidence, I'm happy to make that motion to move for their admission. I think they've been sufficiently authenticated. I think that they are fair game. They are prior statements by this particular witness. Some of them have been used to refresh recollection. Some of them have been used to impeach.
There's nothing to impeach her. She hasn't made an inconsistent statement.
We don't see it the same way.
Yeah, but what are you impeaching? Her recollection of events 2-3 years ago?
No, for that purpose, I've been refreshing the recollection. And it seems to me that this objection now is coming up specifically when I'm simply trying to refresh the recollection of the witness. It was not my intention at this point to introduce the actual text messages. She's answered questions about them. They're prior statements of her. They're relevant to the background, to the conversation. This is a consent case, Your Honor. And so this all goes to the defense of consent, and it all goes to the underlying nature of the prior existing relationship, which there was motion practice about, which the court has, and the people even conceded in their response to the motions, that it was going to be permissible for the defense to explore the nature of the relationship between the witness and the defendant. And that's all I'm trying to do.
How many pages of text messages are there?
80.
How many?
80.
80 pages.
So how many more of these text messages are we going through? Are they numbered at least?
Their number, their date and time stamp.
But the pages aren't numbered?
Unfortunately, no. I did not alter the way that I received them.
Yeah, but they could have had a page number on them so that at least the court can follow along because all right.
My objection to the March 2022, I don't know if she said she didn't, I'm just objecting to the relevance of the March 2022, the line of questioning and what she said in the text messages. If he can say, did you say this in the text messages? And she can say yes. If she doesn't remember, he can refresh her recollection.
Your Honor, I expect that after, we're going to hear that after March 2023, after the complainant initiated the contact, that there are all kinds of text messages that suggest
Eric, I don't need to hear what I'm going to suggest to me what the heck I'm gonna see. 80 pages, somebody find a copy or get me a copy, get her a copy, you have a copy, and then we can go through it all night long, I guess. Court is standing in recess.
All rise. All rise. The 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Day said.
You may be seated. We're back on the record in the case of the People versus Raymond Smith. Counsel is present. Ma'am, if you could please come back up to stand. Is now seated, and I'd again remind you, you're under oath. Thank you. All right.
Your Honor, with respect to the text messages, I have hand numbered pages 1 through 3 on the packet of papers that the witness had. I've marked it as defendant's proposed exhibit number 1.
It would be defense exhibit A.
A, okay. I have emailed to your staff a copy of this.
Yes, I have it,
Okay.
but I don't have numbers on the pages. So.
And I apologize for that.
Okay.
I didn't have a way to
Let's
make a photocopy.
Let's get through it. All right.
So I'm going to approach with the witness with the court's permission.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. England, there's now some page numbers at the bottom there.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you to look at page number 45, which is a series of text messages from December 7, 2022. 40, I'm sorry, I apologize, 47. My mistake. So page 47, it's a series of text messages, December 7, 2022. And then if you turn to page 46 at the very bottom, because they read from the bottom up, the next entry is March 23rd, 2023. Do you see that? So does that refresh your memory that there was really no communication via text message between you and Mr. Smith between December 7th and March 3rd, 2020?
It does not refresh my memory, but yes. I remember getting involved with my mom. I remember.
And you remember there being a period of time where there was no communication for the span of a handful of months?
Particularly?
You would agree with me that based on the review of the text messages that we've already gone through, which started way back in September of 2021, there was pretty consistent communication between September of 2021 and December of 2022. Is that fair to say? And do you recall that there was a break in time where there was no communication and communication reinitiated?
I don't.
Okay. Do you remember reaching out to Mr. Smith on March 23rd, 2023, as indicated in the text message that appears on page 46?
I don't remember that, but I see the text messages.
You don't dispute that you don't dispute that is in fact your text messages with Mr. Smith, do you?
I can't say it one way or another. I think they're.
Well, if we go all the way to page 1, that's your phone number at the top of page 1, 517-449-209, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So after March 2023, is it fair to say that you, between then and leading up to September 21st, 2023, there are a whole bunch of text messages between you and Mr. Smith, correct? And I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but I do want to cover different topics that you may have texted about. For example, you text back and forth about needing or wanting a ride from Mr. Smith to various places, correct?
Can you give me a page number?
How about page 46, which is March 24, 2023. Mr. Smith at the fourth line from the top.
Yes, I see that.
So you were going to need a ride or your mom going to take you, and you said, would you mind? Meaning you were asking Mr. Smith, correct?
I see that.
So you asked him for a ride at that point, correct?
Sure.
And that wasn't the only time during this time period that you asked him for a ride, correct?
I just need a minute.
Sure. Maybe if I direct your attention to April 1st, 2023, on page 44, does that refresh your memory that you asked for a ride on that day?
I don't remember that, but I see it in via text message.
It says, you said, hey, so can you take me today at 2:30, please?
Yes, I see that.
So you asked him for a ride on April 1st as well, correct?
I do. He'd asked me to come over to his house to a barbecue and I said no. So I do remember that day.
And you had also, as part of these rides, had talked about either paying him for the rides or cleaning his house in exchange for him giving you rides, correct?
Yes.
And you referred to a barbecue that you chatted back and forth with him about a barbecue on April 3rd, 2023, correct? Page 43.
Yes.
And in fact, you wish you could have gone to the barbecue. Is that what you said?
Not really, but I said that. Yes.
So you're in the habit of saying things that you don't really mean.
I don't want to hurt someone's feelings who lives next door to me.
So you'll lie if it's convenient for you.
When I don't want to hurt someone who lives next door, yes.
If it serves your interest, you'll lie, won't you?
Sir, he lived next door. He was friends with my mother. I didn't want to make it weird and awkward.
Don't you think it was already weird and awkward?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, but I didn't want to make it worse.
You've lied to the police before, haven't you?
I'm sorry?
You've lied to the police before, haven't you?
I don't think I need to answer that question. I can plead the fifth, self-incrimination.
I'd ask that you direct her to answer the
I'm
question.
going to object on relevancy grounds.
What's the relevance of that, counsel? Seriously.
Whether she's lied to the police before, her whole the very crux of this case is based on her credibility. And now we're exploring whether she's prepared to lie. And now she's been asked a flat out question.
You realize this is a preliminary examination. I can't decide credibility. That's going to make it an issue of fact. It's going to have to go to the jury. You do realize what proceeding you're in.
Your Honor, I am aware of the law that says the court must make a credibility determination in order to decide whether or not there is probable cause.
Objection as to relevance is sustained. Next question.
May I just ask for clarification of the court's ruling?
I think I'm real clear when I said sustained. No, you may not.
Thank you. Now, you also told Mr. Smith on April 3rd that you were glad that his barbecue went good. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Did you mean that?
Yes.
But you didn't mean that you wish you could have come.
Yes.
Yes, you did mean that you wish you could have came or gone to the barbecue or no?
I didn't mean
Okay.
that. Like that.
So just so we're clear, you will say things that you don't mean.
Um,
So is that a yes?
If it's to prevent an awkward situation, sure, yeah. If it's saying, yeah, I wish I could have gone to your barbecue, wish I could have gone to your birthday party, wish I could have gone to your bar mitzvah, yeah, I'll say it. But I'm not gonna lie about getting raped.
Your Honor, I think the door has just been opened.
This preliminary examination showcased exactly why these hearings can be so intense. The prosecution presented testimony describing the alleged assault and the events that followed, while the defense focused heavily on prior communications, the history between the parties, memory issues, and credibility in an effort to challenge whether the evidence supports its theory of the case. Throughout the proceeding, Judge Simpson repeatedly ruled on objections, limited questioning when necessary, and emphasized that the purpose of this hearing was to determine whether sufficient probable cause exists, not to decide guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Those final decisions belong to a jury if the case proceeds to trial. Cases like this demonstrate how every objection, every text message, and every answer can influence the direction of a criminal prosecution. We'd love to hear your respectful opinion. Did anything in today's hearing change your perspective as the evidence unfolded? If you enjoyed detailed courtroom breakdowns that explain both the legal strategy and the courtroom drama, be sure to like this video, share it with fellow true crime fans, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another real courtroom case.